Good morning. Good morning. It is early. It is 1:18 in the morning. Welcome to another video. We've just pulled in to the Chickahominy Riverfront Park, something. The Chickahominy ramp. Left school today after girls basketball practice. Hooked the boat up. My dad, kind enough to throw a mattress in the back. And we rolled out for Richmond, or wherever we're at. I don't know what town we're actually in. Maybe it's the town Chickahominy, I don't know. Really don't know what to expect. I've heard it's tough, but I think that I want it to be tough. I like tough tournaments. I'm not a big slugfest fan. But anyways, we're going to go out and see if we can figure out this title deal in 3/4 of a day tomorrow. I think we can. We've been here before. It's not like it's the first time I've ever fished Tidal River, first time I've ever been to the James River. I fished it twice. Fished it in a college event in May a few years ago, and then fished it a few years ago, a Bassmaster Open in August. So I haven't been here in the fall this time of year, but have at least been here and have a little bit of experience. So got my tide chart here, my handy dandy tide chart that I'm gonna duct tape to my dash tomorrow morning. And yeah, just a matter of figuring them out and catching them, which is what tomorrow's gonna be for. But right now it's gonna be me going to bed. So we'll see you in the morning. Hopefully, catching some on topwater, plopper, a popper, a frog, a drop shot, chatterbait, swim jig, I don't know. I just want to catch some. So here's the deal this morning. We're going to spend a lot of time looking. We're going to graph while the water's still up. It's outgoing right now, but it peaked just about an hour and a half ago or so, 2 hours maybe. So I'm going to graph some of the areas where I think there's some big brush piles or some just structure that maybe isn't as obvious as just going and flipping down the bank when it gets to low tide. I've already found a couple of those areas that I think we ought to be able to catch some on later as the water gets lower. But Curtis is going to be here in about 2 hours. He's going to be here about 2 hours before low tide. So I'm trying to debate if I want to stay in Chickahominy for longer, fish the low tide here, or go and look at some of the other places that I know I'm going to want to spend some time. I don't know. We're still up in the air, but for right now, we're going to keep running around. Anyways, probably.
Yeah, each way.
Yeah. 2 bites off of that stretch. Mark it! Oh, there he is. Okay. They're not giants, but they're keepers. And that may prove to be useful. Sweet!
What kind of jig is that? It's kind of making my house, my basement.
Oh gosh. Yes, that's good.
You don't want to cast it.
I don't care. Not a bad one. Spinner bait right in the dome of the old noggin. I'm like totally sorry, Scoob. Oh, it's his eyeball. That felt lovely. Better. He's got a wide head. Yeah, short and fat. It's stocky little fish. It's one of those goofy freaking Nolan fish. Please be a 4-pounder. Or a 7-pounder. Yeah! That's a good one. Sweet. Take 5 of those. Oh yeah. Chris and I are back at the hotel. We've snagged us some electricity. Gonna do a little rigging up. I gotta line a bunch of rods. Figure out our game plan for tomorrow. Overall, today was not bad. What would you give today on a scale of 1 to 10? Yeah.
3.5.
3.5. I'll give it a 6 for the promise that I feel like we have tomorrow. Oh well, we'll see. Game plan is going to be to get to where we caught them today at the same time, a little bit earlier on the tide, and then ride the tide all the way back to Osborne boat landing up in the river. So that's the plan. And if we can catch 12 or 13 pounds tomorrow, I think we'll be okay. So get rigged up, listen to the meeting, Zoom the meeting. I'm ready to go to bed. All right, see you in the morning. Well, good morning. It is 4:45 this morning. We are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We're going fishing. We're about 105 out of 168. We take off at 7:30, which means we take off at 8, and we check in at 4:20. It's a long day. Tide ain't gonna get low at my first spot until noon, which means that I don't really expect to catch them good until about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So if we can catch 2 fish, this is what I'm gonna claim. If I can catch 2 good keepers before 11 o'clock, we're in good shape. We've got about 30 minutes to the ramp. We're ready to rip, Tater Chip. Woo! Day 1. Let's just go catch some. So I started off in Herring Creek, and I had a couple ideas of some spots in there I fished in the past that I wanted to start on, and that didn't work at all. At all. So I ended up flipping a couple stretches at high tide. I mean, high tide had just peaked and started coming down, and was surprised that I immediately started getting bites. Fished one stretch, got 4 bites, but was even more surprised that I couldn't put any of the keepers that bit in the boat. So this one here's a short one that I'm going to keep, and then ended up losing 3 fish that would get halfway back to the boat and just come off. One of them, which was a good one, a 2.5 pounder, and frustrated, so cut the hook off, dig out a big EWG, strap it on for the rest of the day, because my normal little offset worm hook I was really upset with about 30 minutes into the morning.
Are you
Heckin'
me? What the
heck.
God, what the heck?
So I leave Herring Creek empty-handed, run down to Chipokes, which is where I would end up spending a lot of time, and things started to pick up a little bit.
Got on there? You good job. Hey. Thank you.
Ah, thank you, Lord. Man, it's just so slow. Maybe that's a solid one. Kinda got it good. Yes, dude. Oh my gosh.
That's a pretty good
Thank you,
one.
yeah. Oh, one more, please, Lord.
Good job, dude.
Thank you for the net. Oh, man, live.
Did you turn that GoPro on like midway
Yeah,
through the fight?
yeah.
That's risky.
I know. Once I put a good pull on them, thanks. In between them.
Sitting for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've all picked it up when it's been sitting still, which is how it was yesterday. But I didn't catch any of that. I didn't catch that size yesterday, which is not a complaint. One more. There it is. Oh, we come off. Dadgummit. It's okay. Oh, we come off. Dadgummit. It's okay.
Sam Karras coming in next out of that volunteer division out of Knoxville. Boulder's got 5 bass today. That's going to go 13 pounds. Even got you in 13th part right now, Sam. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so that was a lackluster video on my part. At least content for the first day. I'm sure we're going to catch plenty of bigs that you'll see tomorrow. It was brutal tough for me, at least, to get bites. Weighed in 12, 15. They called it 13. Ended up clocking in as 12, 15, which was not bad. That is more weight than I thought I had, and more weight than I had yesterday practicing. So all in all, I can't complain. But those were the only 5 keepers that I put in the boat today, were the 5 that I weighed in. I lost 2 during high tide. My frustration at the beginning was from, I had 2 keepers jump off when I was flipping high tide. So I don't know why, one, I got those bites. 2 out of the count was dumb. I wouldn't have ended up having either one help me, I don't think. But tomorrow we're just gonna have to be willing to move and figure it out as we go, because I feel about 1% confident that what worked today would work again tomorrow. So we kind of just stumbled upon the right set of cypress trees at the right time, and I caught pretty much all my weight out of those trees. So if we do that again tomorrow, it's phenomenal. We're in 23rd. The cut line was right around 14. I think if we catch 13 again tomorrow, we're in the cut. It's supposed to get down real cold tonight. It's front that's going to come through. But we'll look at the tides, make a game plan. I'm going to eat these Subway cookies I've got left. We're going to go to bed. A little earlier check-in time tomorrow, which is not great. That's all right. Those are the cards. So we'll deal with them tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So the second morning, while I was sitting there at boat check, getting ready to take off, I decided I was going to actually turn around and run up the river to start the second day. The tide wasn't going to get right until really late in the day, 1 o'clock or so down where I'd been catching fish. So I decided not to run down there right away, and caught one right off the bat, run up just a small 13-inch keeper, and then killed about 2 hours up the river, and then ran down, started back in Herring Creek, probably around 10, 11 o'clock or so.
There's one good one. Real good one. Okay, you're doing the same thing I did. Nice job, bud. Damn. Crazy, right? Yeah. Crazy. Unreal, dude. That was a giant. Oh, God, you squeaked. Before I could even look up, he was in the bush.
I don't think he's going to make it. He might, but good enough for me.
Yeah, good enough. I cast right into a freaking. I actually hit the wood and my hook went right into it.
Oh.
See it? As we drifted past.
So those 2 fish came from the same area that I caught all my weight at the first day, pretty much all my weight. Ended up being where I'd catch the majority of my fish both days. Problem was I caught all quality the first day, I mean between 2 and 3 pounders, and only got 2 of those good bites the second day. Would end up leaving here, catching a couple other keepers, but I had 3 slicks, a 2 pounder, and one that was probably first one here that was probably 3.5. So kind of screwed the pooch on the second day. Ended up weighing in 8.5 pounds, 8.9, I believe, which dropped me down to 42nd. Cameras ended up, I didn't start catching them good down there until low tide about 1 o'clock. So by then, had lost a lot of camera battery. And it's one of those things like during the practice, it's fine. But during the tournament, it's like I don't want to take the time to hook the cameras up or switch out an SD card or take one off and charge it and put another one up. So once they run out, they just kind of run out for me, which is what happened here. So I end up catching the rest of my limit down the river before we head back up. But overall, obviously didn't finish where we want to. But I love the James River. I think it's a really, really cool fishery. I like the whole tidal thing, trying to run the tide and keep up with that. Even if we didn't do it really well, it was still something that I have enjoyed each time I've been there. Enjoyed it this October, and I'm looking forward to being back down. I appreciate you watching the video. If you like it, press the subscribe. We'll have these kind of transitioning from a lot of fishing to a lot of deer hunting from here on out the rest of this year, and really until next January, it looks like, based on the schedule that came out. Till next January, we'll be hanging around waiting for these BFLs to fire back up.